Hey everyone, welcome back to our Python interview preparation in 10-day series. Today is day 3 and we are going to learn one of the most powerful features of Python, which is list comprehension. So this is a topic that frequently asked in Python interviews because it tests whether you know how to write clean, efficient and Pythonic code, but by the end of this video you will know how to write list comprehension, use conditions, work with nested loops and confidently answer interview questions related to them. So let's get started. So what is list comprehension? Imagine you want to create a new list from an existing list. The traditional way is to create an empty list, use a for loop, then keep appending elements. Python gives us a much shorter and cleaner way to do exactly the same thing. That feature is called list comprehension. In simple words, list comprehension lets us create a list in a single line of code. So this is the definition that is mostly asked. This is for you. And this is the traditional way in which we are creating. So we have created an empty list, that is number over here, and then we are using a for loop and we are appending the elements and printing it. Okay, so and using list comprehension, this operation can be done in a single line. So I have used a variable over here, for loop inside the same, and we are printing it. So this is list comprehension. What is the traditional way? Let's first see how to create a normal list. So we are starting with the empty list. Then we are running a loop. For every value we append it to the list. Finally we print the list. This works perfectly fine, but notice it takes multiple lines. Let me just run the code and show this one. See, this is the output. Now list comprehension, just one line. We do not need to create an empty list. We do not need to call append. Everything happens inside one expression. Isn't that much cleaner? Yes. Now imagine you are sitting in an interview and the interviewer asked, what is list comprehension? So this would be a good definition for that. List comprehension is a concise and Pythonic way to create a new list from an iterable in a single line. Instead of writing multiple lines using a loop, list comprehension allows you to write cleaner and readable code. Let us look into the syntax. So the new list will be equal to the expression and for item in interval. That's it. So there are three parts. So first one, in the first expression, this is what gets stored in the new list. Second is the for loop. It tells Pythons what to iterate over. Third is the iterable, that is this one, which can be list, tuple, string, range or any object that can be looped through. Let's make this interesting. Suppose we want square of numbers from 0 to 5. Okay, so traditionally we would write a loop and append each square. With list comprehension we simply take every number, square it, put it into a list, much shorter and much easier. So let us see how are we going to do that. Sorry. Yes, so this is also an interview question, that what are the three parts of a list comprehension? So you would answer expression, loop and iterable. You can mention explicitly for loop. Now square of numbers. So what is the traditional way? That we have taken an empty list. We are starting a for loop for this to 6 since it goes till -1. So we want till 5. So we have written 6 over here. Then we are appending and we are doing the square over here. And then we are printing it. But with list comprehension, it is much interesting. We are taking every number, squaring it and putting into a new list. That's it. So this is the new list. We are squaring the numbers, we are using the for loop, this is our iterable and we are putting into the new list. We would be getting this output. So why do developers prefer list comprehension? First reason, it's shorter, it's easier to read, it is more Pythonic and in many cases it is slightly faster than writing a normal loop. isn't it? Let's make things more powerful. What if we only want even numbers? We simply add an if condition after the loop. Python checks every number. If the condition is true, it includes that number in the new list, otherwise it skips it. So I have taken an even number, I have taken a variable, so I have taken the for loop as I said, so this is my iterable, and I have just added an if condition as it is inside the list. So this list comprehension, this is how we do, and then we are printing the equals. Same goes for the odd numbers as well, in the same way. Now the idea works for odd numbers as well, just change the condition from not equal to 0 to not equal to 0. See, what is the where is the condition written in list comprehension is an important question. So the answer will be after the for loop. Now, list comprehension doesn't only work with numbers; it works with strings too. Here, we take every programming language and convert it to uppercase using the upper method. Okay. Similarly goes for string length. If we want the length of every word, we can simply call the length function inside the expression. Like see this one. Example 4 is for converting to uppercase. Sorry. So I have taken the name of different programming languages and I am converting it to uppercase with a function dot upper. And we are printing the result. So after printing the result, we will be getting this out. This is my output. Next up, what we have is, can list comprehension work with strings? Yes, it works with string with any iterable. So string is an iterable, so we can work with that as well. I was talking about length of a string. So we will simply use the length keyword. That's it. And we will be getting the output. So when I was saying that it works with any iterable, it includes any iterables like string, tuples, sets, dictionary, ranges, and even files. Now let us come to the next example. Here is something that often confuses beginners. Earlier we used an if condition, but what if we want an if else? In list comprehension, the order changes slightly. If the if else come before the if else come before the for. This expression checks every number and stores either even or odd depending on the condition. Okay, so previously what was happening, that if we are having a if condition, then it used to come after the for. But here it's not happening. So we are having that if condition along with else before the for loop. Okay, so it will check first and then it will print the result. Now nested list comprehension. Let's look one of the most interview common questions, nested list comprehension. Think of it exactly like nested for loops. First Python goes through each row, then it goes through each element inside that row. Finally, all the elements are combined into a single list. Okay, so see this. This is my first list, this is my second list. So I am iterating it using a for loop. This is my expression using a for loop, and then I am using an iterable. So I have used two for loops in a single list. This is the beauty. Now if the question comes, what is nested list comprehension? We would simply say a nested list comprehension. A list comprehension containing more than one for loop. That is list comprehension. Now if it is asked what is the difference between this and this, the first filters element and the second one transforms every element using equals. So this is the difference. This is only for filtering, this is for transform. Now using functions, another useful feature is that we can call functions inside list comprehension, right? So here we are using built-in function pow. In the next one, here we are using pow. to calculate square. Similarly, you can use length like I have used in strings, absolute, round, or your own custom functions. So functions are always welcome in Python. Coming up to the next example, filtering names. Suppose we want only names that start with the letter R. You can simply use the starts with method inside the condition. Python automatically filters the name. So what I have written, name for name in names is if name dot starts with R. So we want only the names that starts with R. Okay, so output we will be getting this out. I have written the outputs over here so that when we are getting multiple outputs, we don't get confused. See, this is the output. Now, complexity we will be discussing. Let's quickly talk about complexity because interviews love asking this. If we are looping through n elements once, the time complexity is 0 of n. And since we are creating a new list, the space complexity is also on. Now, what are the common mistakes that usually beginners make? Beginners often make two mistakes. First, forgetting the iterable, and second, writing the if else in the wrong order. Remember, when you are filtering, the if comes after the for loop. If you are using if else, it comes before the for loop. Now, what is the difference between list comprehension? Just yeah, list comprehension and loop. So you should always use list comprehension, not necessarily. If the logic is simple, list comprehension makes your code shorter and cleaner. But if your logic becomes complicated or deeply nested, a normal for loop is usually easier to understand and maintain. Okay. So it's not always necessary to use it. Let me just align it. Yeah. So this has multiple lines. A normal loop, list comprehension is single lines. Loop is easy for complex logic. List comprehension is best for simple transformations. Loop are more flexible, list are more concise, loop is slightly slower, and list comprehension is usually faster. Now we will look into some real interview questions that are listed over here. We will revise all these. So that's all for today's video. I hope you have a solid understanding of list comprehension and the kind of questions interviewers love to ask. In the next video, we will cover another important Python interview with more examples and coding practices. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss the next lesson in our Python interview preparation in 10 days series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.